Well, good evening and welcome everybody to another broadcast for RaceOnOz. This is PS4 Tier 2 Season 7, Round 2 at Spa. Joining me tonight again is Adman. Welcome, Ads.
Okay, man, how you going? Pretty excited to be here tonight. Thank you very much for having me again. Hello to the viewers so far. I can see Bounty's already put a comment in there saying hello. So g'day, mate. How you going? Yeah, super excited. Let's get it on.
Absolutely, mate, absolutely. And we do apologise, just a minor technical glitch at the start that we didn't start on time, but we'll get better with this. I think, you know, as this circuit is such an iconic circuit, and I'm hoping tonight, even though we've only got a field of 10 out there, I'm hoping it's going to bring some excellent racing.
Yeah, so we've got 11. So Team Little Bear came in late, so that's a good thing.
Oh, beautiful.
So the numbers, yep. The numbers aren't big. Thanks, Bounty, for the feedback re our comms. Sparky, thank you, mate. Yeah, no, it's 11 out there. Team Little Bears come in late, so that's a good thing. But going from last round to the first round, we had some good competitive racing between the guys. So I have no doubts that they'll bring on put on a pretty good show tonight. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Absolutely, and you and I were chatting a little earlier too. We've got some, you know, semi-debutants to ACC.
Well, we do. Some of the names in there people might be familiar with. So we've got Stoza, that's been a long-time member of RaceOnOz, who's transitioned over from Project Cars 2. So this is part of the Project Cars 2 league that Stu Carr was running for a very long time. It's pretty much shut down, and now they're starting up the GT4 league, which will be on a Sunday night, starting this Sunday. And some of the guys have trying their hand at the Tuesday night GT3 league, so which is good. Hopefully we can get a few more guys come across and jump in and pick up some of those empty spots that have been made available from guys going over to the PC. So yeah, really happy to have them here. So yeah, Stoza, Rain of Fire, and Azuro are the three names there that stand out right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We might just do a quick refresh from round one, the finishing order. As we go through the different platforms, PS4 Tier 2 Round 1, into the PS5 Round 1, and into the PS4 Tier 1. And as we can see by the points table, CDA on 157, SAR on 156, GRT on 144, PNL on 139, and BHR on 128. So there's not a lot in it. Which is good to see between, you know, first and fifth place. I think we're in for a very, very close season.
Yeah, mate. It's well, so a couple of things there. So we've got Bounty, who's the new captain of Chris Dave Academy. Yeah, he took over from Riggsy there, so he was handed a pretty good team straight off the bat, and he's taken it straight again, and just launched it through round one and put it straight up into position one. So that's a really good effort for those guys, and super happy that Bounty and Metal Steel, as the vice captain there, can take the accolades for round one, and for yourself in SAR, mate, that's 1 point behind, which is really good. And then with Burradog and Ty Morgo, and then we've got Team BHR. The one thing that also stands out for me too is the importance of having your guys race. You know, it just shows that if you have people drop out, whatever reason, and it's totally understandable that happens. But it absolutely just, you know, reflects in the team points. So we've got 4 more rounds to go. We'll see how it all plays out.
Absolutely. What we might do, mate, is jump on board for your regular hot lap.
Sounds good.
Hey guys, here we are. Season 7, round 2, we're at Spa. This is a 7-kilometre long track. I absolutely love this track, especially through on Rooz. It will bite hard if you don't get it right. So we make our way up into the last chicane here. Onto the finish straight. I'm going to try and get a nice exit out as we come up, say left. Just want to stop just after the 100 metre mark there, turn in nice and early, good trail braking, rotate the car around, get a good exit. You can ride up on that curb, just don't go over it. Want to stay right, hug that pit wall if you can, definitely don't make contact. Make our way through on Rooz, cut across the curb, want to straight line in as best as possible. Watch out for track limits. If you get a nice run through there, you will absolutely have a great run through this Camel Straight. If you are getting a tow from the car in front, there's a good opportunity that you can make a pass. We want to brake a little bit early just before the curbing. Turn in nice and early, cut across the curbing, flick left. Just want to ride this, stay left if you can. Just watch out for the throttle inputs. You get a bit of oversteering like I just did. So we make our way down to turn 10. It's one of the most difficult corners on the track. Want to keep it nice and tight here. Get a nice exit. First, second, third, back down to second. Cut across that curbing if you can. Go out wide, full power. So we make our way down to turn 12. This is a tricky corner too. You want to brake nice and early. Just keep the nose in nice and tight. Get a good exit, full power. Keep off that curbing on this side. There is a little bump. Coming down into turn 13, keep the weight on the nose. Ride it through, flick it left, go well over that curbing. Use the full track on the outside. So we make our way down to turn 15, stay off that curbing on this side there, we'll launch the car, use all the exit road here. Turn in nice and early again. So we make our way down through here towards Blanchemont. I guess this is an opportunity to have a break. I'm not quite sure how that is, but we want to try and take the car out as wide as we can without breaking track limits. Turn in nice and early. I've just missed the apex. So we make our way down in the last chicane. Brake nice and early again. Hold the brake right into the corner, into the bus stop. Quick flick, off throttle. Maximise your run back into the finish straight. So that's 2:19.1. Good luck to those racing tonight. See you on track.
Yep.
And there we go. Into the hot lap from Ads again and into a bit of track info. Ads, do you want to take this away?
Yeah, sure, mate. Just so yeah, that was a nice lap, I think. I have no doubts that the PS4 Pro guys will be doing it a bit quicker, but yeah, definitely there's some special spots here. So rattle on. Coming through that first chicane with the right, left, right, it's pretty tricky, as you would have seen from my oversteer. It can get a bit loose through there. And you know, some of these fast corners, you've really got to turn in early. If you don't turn in early enough, you will miss the apex, and it will go out wide. You've got to be super careful of track limits. And so these guys tonight, have no doubts we'll probably see a few pop up, but I have predicted that once before, and it was actually quite good from the guys on track. As we're about to kick into qualifying, K-Man.
All
so
right,
we're,
well, let's get started.
Awesome.
Obviously, first car out, Sparky.
Beautiful. Yep, so he's got the nice Coach Dave Academy livery there. Certainly nice and bright. So one of the things with this track too, mate, is, as you will know, you've got 15 minutes of qualifying, and effectively you've got lap time. So your outlap's probably going to be, 2 minutes 35, 2 minutes 40 because of your slow exit out of the pits. But really want to break this up into 2 stints. You want to make sure that both of those stints count, because if you freckle it up, effectively you've got to go back to the pits and reset and then go back out again, and it doesn't leave a lot of time. The time you do your out lap, get the tyres up to temperature and then try and put down some good, well, put down a banker lap for starters and then try and build on it from there. But you've got to be switched on, you've got to be patient, allow the car to grip up and let the grip come to you, because it's really easy to, you know, get a little bit anxious and use throttle inputs where you probably wouldn't use throttle inputs, and then all of a sudden bang, you're in the wall and you've got to go back to the pits and start again. So definitely cannot afford for that to occur. You need the full 15 minutes to be able to have every opportunity to be able to put your car up in a pole position.
I totally agree. It is very important, because if you been in one of them, or the first one, you've got to make sure that you lay down your lap in your second run. So it's key that you watch the clock, you get out early, as Sparky has. He'll be the first to cross the line and get us started. So we might just stay on board with Sparky for his first flying lap.
We can do that. So guys, if you're at home, grab your popcorn, grab your nana, turn the volume up, and let's have a listen to Sparky going around Spa for a nice hot lap on his first lap that he's going to put down, hopefully.
That's also a very key section of the track too that Sparky has just gone through, up through Lacombe's. It's really important. You can lose so much time if you don't have a good flow through that right section.
Yeah, you're right, mate. And the trick to these chicanes is, especially like Rooz, is to try and straight line it as much as you possibly can. And that chicane through Combs, what people don't do is they don't ride the curbs. They generally stay just on the inside of the curbing, especially for the left-hander. You need to run over the curb to be able to keep the car left, to be able to then take that next right-hander, which is corner 9 or turn 9, and then be able to, basically in the Ferrari, your third gear through there, flat out, full power down. And if you get the line right, you get a nice exit. But if you're slightly off, you will go outside of the track limits, or even go up in the curbing, and you will find the back end of your car will get a little bit taily. So one of the things that you don't want to do with a GT3 car is unsettle it. The moment that you start to get a little bit of unnecessary bounce through the body or the chassis, that's when things start to get a little bit hairy, and you get a handful of holy crap, it wrecks your lap time.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, Sparky's had a cut track somewhere. I didn't quite see that, so he's got to go again. So we might just have a bit of a bo peep at some of the others.
Turn 9, that was coming out of.
Was it? Okay, yep.
Yep.
Let's have a look at Christoph. And he's behind Simon at the minute. On a large track like this, it takes a few minutes for the guys to start to put in their lap times, unlike some of the shorter tracks.
Yeah, so as I was saying, with the longer lap time, it's crucial to get every 15 minute, every minute of that 15 minutes has to count. Just watching Christoph, he's just taken the first right-hander on the curb. He's missed the second, which puts him in too shallow on the turn 9 exit of Lacombe's there. Whilst he might not break track limits, but what it does is it restricts his corner exit, which you really need, because coming down into turn 10, as I said in my stream, it really affects your overall lap time. And it's one of the most difficult corners too.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
Got Team Little Bears posted a lap. He's up in 5th position. looks like Christoph's just been impeded with Simon there. He's probably
Backed out of
ideal.
it. Yeah, he's backed right out of it now.
Yep.
Have a look at Rain of Fire in the Ferrari.
Yeah,
We
so
might,
this is
jump on board.
the GRT, Borodog. Love, one of the things that Borodog does is really his attention to detail with his livery and his colours that he puts out to his team has always been a high end. And it has been ever since Borodog took on the captainship of the
well presented cars, absolutely.
Yeah, totally agree. We've got Pesky in the chat as well. G'day mate, how you going? Hope you're doing well. Haven't spoken to you for a little bit, but yes, you're right, the pits are terrible. They are very long. And I guess, you know, letting the pits stop, right? Not wasting seconds in there is critical as well. So it's not...
I did a little bit of homework last night, believe it or not, to enter the pits, take your mandatory 30-second pit stop and make your way back out again is nearly 2 minutes.
Well, there you go. So that's nearly a whole lap.
Correct.
That you, from the time you enter to the time you exit. So yeah, as I said, critical to make sure that when you go in your pit box, you don't do a Ron Burgundy, go over the...
He's caught.
Just hit that. Yep.
Yeah,
just saw that.
one.
He just caught the inside of the curbing there.
Which you can't do, and I don't think you can do it in too many cars either, including even the Bentley that is very, very forgiving.
Yeah, you can't, because it unsettles the car. It's too much. So just looking at the onboard of the YouTube here as the guys are watching it, and yeah, that's really like uncharacteristic as to how that's launched in there. I'm not sure what he's hit. Whether there's a bump there, maybe he's got his suspension set really hard, I'm not sure, but we've got Psycho up in P1 at this stage with a 2-minute 20.007, followed in by N. Stozza for Team BHR with 4 tenths behind Psycho, and Simon with Team BHR is in 3rd position at this moment. We just had Stozza go around. I just was on him for a second, as that's a victim of coming up through a Rooz. Nearly took out Rain of Fire. I reckon we might see a couple of that tonight, mate, just with the Rooz coming up through there. Every guy, you know, someone said it to me, you can go through there 10 times perfectly, and then the next one could be disastrous.
Absolutely.
It's interesting how that works out.
That's where you got to keep the cookie and try not to crush it.
Oh, God. I tried to forget about the cookie once before.
And there we go. For Azuro, 143. Obviously, he's in the M6 BMW. So, but again, same issue. You know, up through a Rouge, and unfortunately, he's come unstuck.
Yeah, I don't know what team Azuro's actually in. Excuse me, but the that M6, I tell you, that's one of the hardest cars to drive. The front end understeer is incredible in that car. So I hope that if that's his car of choice for this season, it's going to be a learning curve for him, because that was a car that we had in season 2, and we were dedicated cars, and it was one of the worst cars that we ever drove. So sorry, mate. I don't mean to put any negative feelings out there for that car, but good luck. Have fun anyway, and I hope you do well. But certainly, from my experience of driving that thing, you've got your hands full tonight. So yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, totally agree. We're on board now with Simon. I think Simon. No, and Stozza. Sorry, my apologies. So you know. New member of BHR ads, so in P3, so doing quite well.
Yeah, so I've raced against Stozza a few times in the Project Car 2 days. Top fellow to talk to through the chat. He lives in Bathurst.
Nice.
I've probably mispronounced that. I did that last night, and he corrected me, so apologies, mate, if it's wrong. Yeah, Bathurst.
Bathurst.
When I said it, he goes, "No, it's not Hurst. I'm not in a coffin in a car yet." Bathurst. But no, long-standing member of RaceOnOz. He just reached out. He just said that he wanted to be part of the Tuesday night stuff. So I know he's still trying to get his head around ACC. Like, he knows tracks. Obviously, he's driven Spark quite a few times, like a lot of us. But the ACC platform has different elements that you need to master and be aware of. Still getting his head around Discord, so that's new to him as well. Also has a young family that generally sits there and watches him race. His kids are like his biggest fans. Hopefully, if they're on the YouTube channel tonight, I'm not sure if Mum's got the kids watching, but if they are, g'day to Stoz's kids. Big shout out to you guys, and I hope you enjoy watching your dad race around Spa tonight. I'm sure that he's going to do very well. And yeah, it's pretty happy to have him on board. He's already joined in with the guys, and super excited to see what he brings to the team. Yeah, it should be good. I actually lost Andy, was one of our team members. He's still in the team, but he's pulled out because he's getting mucked around with work and work rosters and things like that. So basically just said he'll pull the pin on it until he can get things sorted. But that's the way, I won't say the way the cookie crumbles, because I don't want to imagine that. But that's just the way that it is. And we're not professionals. We don't get paid to do this stuff. We do it for the fun. And happy to have Stozza come in and replace him, Andy, for season 7.
Absolutely. Look, he's doing a stellar job out there, tonight. One of the, as I say, one of the new members, a long-time sim racer. But again, this is a different beast, ACC, and takes a little bit of getting used to. And he's obviously, coming to grips with it, quite well.
Yeah, I hope so. At the end of the day, all I want is for people to enjoy themselves and have fun. But as we've got a minute 30 to go, I'll just touch on something that happened from round 1 as well. So just a couple of things too came in while I'm thinking about it. But the couple of the findings that we had from round 1 was the lap 1. So we need the guys to maintain a good distance between each other. Don't try and dive bomb. Don't think you're going to win the race on lap 1. That's not going to happen. You upset your own race and you upset someone else's race. So look at the big picture and try and do a full 60-minute stint, which is what we want. If you get damage and you're looking to retire back to the pits, make sure you pull off to the side of the road, out of the way of other drivers, so that you're not impeding anyone that's coming through. Qualifying, so that we had an observation for that. So if you're coming out of the pits and you're on your out lap and there's someone doing qualifying laps, blue flags still apply. So make sure that you get out of the way, you allow the guys to come through, and don't upset what they're doing. Really important that we do that, because we need every opportunity for guys to be able to put down the proper laps. Race start, so we're sticking with the manual starts at this stage. There's been a couple little things. It hasn't been too bad, nothing you would change rules about, but we're going to monitor this round as well, 2K man, just to make sure that people are sticking closely to each other. They've got the gaps right, and if it doesn't improve, then we'll probably have to look at going back to the automatic starts. But at this stage, I'm pretty keen to stay with the manual starts. But so far, so good. So good feedback from round 1, and happy so far with how this is playing out. But look at me, rain of fire in the Ferrari, 2 minute 19.5. That is a ripping time.
Absolutely.
P1.
Absolutely. We've got Sparky's. Sparky's on a bit of a hot one at the minute too. He's currently coming 6/10 up, so he's currently looking to a 220 flat if he can hold it together, or into the 19s possibly.
Yeah, no, that should be good. Let me just jump in. Where is he? Sparky.
Pesky's asked, is it a mandatory tyre change? Yes, it is. Fuel is fuel. Start with as much or as little as you like. Just make sure you got enough to finish the race.
Yes, and the reason why we've gone with that too, Pesky, is purely just to align to what the PS5 server was with the mandatory fuel. So we don't want to have any differences between servers.
There's not going to be a lot in this.
Oh,
219.8.
0.3.
Well done,
3
Sparky.
tenths.
Well done.
So that's GRT, P1, CDA in P2, and Psycho. Who's number one? Is that P&L? Yep.
P&L, yep.
In position 3, followed by Simon and Stozzer in P4 and 5, Scotty Pye in Ferrari, 6, Christoph in P7, Shamrock P8, Familia GTR in P9. Team Little Bear and Azuro, unfortunately, in the BMW, has not put down a lap time. Oh, yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Oh, who's that? 572. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a Phantom, I believe. Somebody that was trying to put the cat amongst the pigeons a little earlier.
Yeah. Well, mind you, though, Rain of Fire is not that far behind that time, too, so it's a pretty good effort. But I'm pretty rapt that it's a Ferrari, too, that has backed it up, especially with our race next week. I'm super pumped about that as well.
Yeah.
It's certainly a track that's going to come back to the Ferraris instead of it being hopefully, predominantly run Bentley. Oh, there you go, mate. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Again, not a lot in it. It's really, really good to see. I think we could be in for a bit of a cracking race as long as these boys can get through lap 1. I think we're in for a good one.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's interesting because the start line is at the downslope after the first corner from the finish straight. So, you're already on a sort of a bit of a downhill. You've got the pit wall alongside you there. If you're on the inside to turn the first turn into a Rooz, you get to cut across that curbing. But I don't know. I'm hoping I've got everything crossed to make sure that these guys get the opportunity to go through the Rooz and then up into Kemmel Straight, all in one piece without any incident. Would be absolutely awesome for these guys. So I'm kind of a little bit excited.
Yeah, I think the upside is that, at least starting down the hill closer to Eau Rouge, they're not travelling as fast as if the start-finish line is obviously where the Formula One start their races from. So, again, as I agree, fingers crossed that they can get through Eau Rouge and then, as you say, up Kemmel Straight and then into Les Combes. So we'll wait and see.
Let me ask you a question. If you were mid-pack, what would be your strategy at the start of the race, knowing that everyone's sort of like diving for the same space, same bit of black stuff that's out there? What would be the strategy from yourself, mate, going into the first few corners?
Look, my strategy, again, it is a little dependent on what's going on directly in front of you. If somebody's a bit slow on the green, you've got to take whatever opportunity you can within reason, of course, because you want to make sure that not only you get through the first few corners here at this circuit, but you don't impede anybody else at the same time. So, look, it's a big track. There's a lot of passing opportunity on this particular circuit, and it's definitely not won in the first few corners, let alone the first lap. So it's about settling in. It's about making sure you get your tyres to the correct pressure, so that you've got the maximum grip that you need to do what you need to do. So for me, I'd nearly be quite happy to sit behind as we go through Eau Rouge, and then again going up the Kemmel Straight. If there is a bit of an opportunity there, somebody's a bit slow, somebody may have checked up, you may look at taking an opportunity there. But again, it's really about settling into the end of that first lap. and then start to look for your opportunities and pick your marks.
Yep. Yep, I like your thinking. I'd like to think that I'd take the same approach, and I definitely would have that as a strategy in my mind. For some bloody reason, when I'm out on track, especially in amongst other human beings that I fully respect, I get super nervous.
30 seconds.
And really struggle with that. So I'd like to think that I'll do the right thing.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Riggsy. G'day, buddy. How are you? Glad that you've just jumped in. Thank you. Sorry, mate. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, look, I agree. I agree. Look, I think most people, I don't think there are too many people that don't have a level of nerves at every single race start. It's how you manage those nerves. And it's what you do with it. I think that's the important part. So again, you know, it's a 60-minute race. It is not won on the first lap, let alone the first few corners.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's interesting, like I was watching a replay from Zandvoort in the Tier 1 race, and there was so from race start, there was a first corner incident where we literally had 5 cars gone nose to tail. And, you know, from a helicopter view, you looked at it and you thought, how can that happen? But then you looked through the in-cabin view of one of the cars in the middle, and it just, you know, it's just that someone braking early, someone hitting the one in front of it, then that concertina effect, and everyone's like banged into each other. And then unfortunately, it's like a whip when you get that little bit of you go and crack that whip. It's that last bit where the most damage occurs. And the unfortunate part, the turn 1 incident at Zandvoort was the last car in that nose to tail was Gazza, where everyone else hit nose to tail, and he did the same thing with probably the same amount of pressure, but it turned him around, and it just wrecked his race for the whole next 60 minutes. So he drove a car that was damaged for a bit, and it's crap. But you got to have spatial awareness. Like the helicopter view is a tool that's there to be used. If you can use that and effectiveness, you know, I know when I first started, it was one of the hardest things to try and look at instantly and get a read on it. I took a little bit of practice, but I can look at it now and I can really gauge how close I am to other cars. And I guess that's probably part of, you know, my improvement with being a driver. But definitely, you know, if anyone that sits there and doesn't use a helicopter radar because they want to feel the realism, you've got to have it on. You know, at the end of the day, you have to have it on, because you don't have that full visual, you know, where you can quickly look around and see what's going on. You know, we're sitting in the cockpit in our rooms, looking at a screen, so you've got to have that helicopter radar on. It's just so important.
Yeah, totally agree. And again, you know, you've got different drivers that are choosing their different views. Some run bumper, some run bonnet. You know, I run in-car. Again, your views are restricted. You're not running triple monitors that you can see down the side, or VR or anything along those lines. So you know, the radar on the screen is super important, and also that spatial awareness of where your car is. You know, that's very important.
Yeah, no, it is, and especially when guys spend 2 weeks practicing and putting in time and setups and all sorts of bits and pieces as we make our way up to the on the finish straight here. There'll be a few eager beavers going on right now. They'll just need the guys to settle in and position their cars correctly. So it's at this point when we don't want to see any weaving and on and off the brakes too much. So far, it looks pretty good. A couple little bit of movements there, but guys will come around the hairpin here. Let's wait for the race director to initiate the race. Oh, fingers crossed, guys. Let's just get through the first few corners. Looks pretty good. Big gap there between Shamrock.
Shamrock, yeah.
Scotty Pye's having a look up in between Simon there, going through a Rooz. So far, so good. So Stoz has just made a move on Simon. Christo's looking to park it up on the inside of Simon as well. Boy, it just needs to squeeze it through this bit of a chicane. Oh, Stoz has just gone onto the grass. He's just had a nice
ran a bit
back
wide
onto the track, hopefully. Yep. It's okay. Stoz
they all checked up a little bit there.
Yep, they have. Rain of Fires checked out, so in the Ferrari there. We got Burradog in the chat as well. Working tonight.
Well, Pesky's run way wide.
What's that?
Pesky ran way wide off the track there, coming down the hill.
Pesky's in the chat. Who are you looking at?
Oh, sorry, Psycho. My apologies. What am I doing? Same colour, you know, same, different.
Don't frighten Pesky, mate. He'll be bloody on the phone in a second.
Yeah, I'll wait for the message to come up. Oh, no, into the fence.
Boys, come back across the track. Hopefully he hasn't connected anyone. That's good. Whew. Very, very close. So we just needed to get back on track. He hasn't done too much damage to his car, hopefully.
Let's have a bit of a, see if we can get a bit of a look. Yep. I'll get these buttons right one day. Well, he went in square on. The front looks a little bit ordinary. See, this is the question now. Does he go in and take his stop, feel his pain, repair the car, put new boots on? Because he can run 60 minutes on a set of tyres. It's not preferred, but he's going to have to wait and see how the car runs after that incident.
Yeah, it's not preferred, definitely. I'm not sure. He'd be looking at whatever time has been put to his crew to be able to do the repair. I'm just on board with Stozzer at the moment. He's just coming back in behind Team Little Bear in the Honda. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but I'm not quite sure if the Bentley's going to straight line speed down here against the Honda. I think the Honda's pretty quick, so he looks like he's pulled the move off, which is good. And Rain of Fire for GRT has pulled out by 3.1 seconds, which is an amazing effort considering we're just on the second lap. Barky got in the Bentley. So we've got two CDA drivers up in the top three.
Sitting for the podium.
Simon. Yep, Simon in the AMG. Pretty confident with Simon too. He had a last round at Zandvoort. He had a clean car from start to finish, so I'm hoping that he can do the same. It's all about consistency. Scotty Pye's following him in the Ferrari, then Shamrock.
Not too far behind there.
Yep. And Familiar, and then Stozzer's coming in behind Familiar as Psycho's just pulled a pass on him a little bit. And I just noticed too, K-Man, so the free practice started at 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon for 1 hour, and then you got qualifying at Saturday 6 p.m, so a bit of a slightly like a twilighty type qualifying. Then the race starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, so rubber's been laid down on the track. Hopefully it's still at optimum, so it doesn't look like there's been any rain overnight, which has washed the rubber away, which is good. But the qualifying was 28 degrees when track race temperature is 31. As it looks like he's gone into the pits. Team Little Bear just pulled into the pits, so he doesn't. Yep, he has. I reckon that this is pretty
it could be tactical.
characteristic.
As I said, you know, I did a measurement last night, nearly 2 minutes, a minute 56, 57. to trundle your way all the way down. It is, you know, quite mind-numbing as a driver. You know, you just you want to get in, get your pit stop done, and get out again.
Yeah. So the pit boxes, are they at the start of the pit or are they at the end? I suppose.
No, at the very end.
Oh,
all the way down. He's still trundling all the way down now, as you can see. You know, it is a long wait.
Yeah.
You know, and just to give you an idea, when he pulls up, we'll go to see where Rain of Fire is sitting on the track. You know, when he finally pulls in, Team Little Bear. And it'll just give you an idea. So you can see from the track map, you know, already, you know, it is a long pit stop. And
well,
there we go.
This is the risk that Team Little Bear has. If he's trying to get some clear air, he's basically going to put himself in front of these guys, and it will turn into a bit of a blue flag race for him, unfortunately. But hopefully he gets out in enough time. I'm just looking at, you're on Rain of Fire there now.
Yep.
I'll just watch this as he comes through turn 18. Oh, he's kept it in nice and close, flat stick. Taking hardly any of the outside, the green bloody stuff there.
And Team Little Bear is now out of the pits.
Yep, okay.
So there you go. There's not a lot. You don't want to make a mistake, that's for sure.
No, you don't. It's a good pickup for Team GRT to get Rain of Fire. Sort of a bit of an unknown, and for him to be up in P1. So well done to those guys. We're currently running third in the championship. So this will definitely go towards some really good points. These guys. So yeah, where is he? He's Team Little Bear 192. He's a fair way up the track from Rain of Fire, so hopefully he can maintain that. We'll have a tank full of fuel. We have a fresh set of tyres, which will be the temperature at the moment. And hopefully that he can get it up there. But so on board with Stozza, mate. He's going to look at pulling a move on Familiar. So we've got Bentley on Bentley at the moment.
That was nice and close. Stuck his nose in and pulled it back out again. Oh.
Yeah, bit of curb. And a bit hungry with the curbing there. Stozza's kids are watching him. Just, kids, go and give your dad a bit of a pat on the back and tell him just to settle in for the next 51 minutes. Just, he's getting a bit wobbly there, a bit oversteering. Maybe tell him to turn his traction control down a little bit by one click. Might be the key to just getting the car to settle down a bit. So guys, awesome to have you guys watching tonight. Thank you so much again for the support. Honestly, for the amount of watches that we've got, to the amount of likes we've got, it's like a 80% hit rate, so that's really good. If you haven't hit the like button yet, definitely give it a little bit of a push. It certainly helps the channel, and we do this voluntarily. We do this because we want you guys to enjoy that next level of, an experience of when you've just raced. You can go back and watch the stream and see how well you did, and they're some of the comments that we'll put through for the guys that are watching. Definitely hit that like button for sure.
This could end up a very good battle pack here, I think, with 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and even 8th. There's not a lot in it.
No, if they all start closing in.
Straight here, so.
We saw Stozza was going up through Camel Straight. Again, Bentley on Bentley, there's not a lot in it, so you need that toe to try and pull you up closer and put a bit of pressure on that person in front to try and get them to make it maybe a little bit of a mistake. But just watching the onboard now, definitely not making a lot. Familiar hasn't gone defensive. Stoz has pulled it up the inside, so hopefully he can hold it here. We've seen him go hungry with the curbings. He's got a bit steery. That cookie moment there for a quick split second.
If you actually watch Stozzer, he seems to be suffering with a little bit of understeer, I think. Now, again, as you can see it there, pushing through the corner.
Yep, and this all comes down to experience with ACC. So when you come from Project Cars 2, you know, you've got different variables with tyre wear, and especially with the Bentley, as we know, some of this curbings, whilst they bite over the curbing nicely and you hardly feel it, but they're very well versed for getting punches.
I think what we should do too, Ads, while we're on board with Stozzer, is just put out there our own personal invite to, you know, if he's a Bathurst local, and if we can get a crew of people together for maybe next year's 12 hour, that we can all go and camp at his place.
Oh, that's a really good question. We can put that to Stoz and see what he says. I don't even know where he lives. He might live at the bloody start-finish line of Bathurst.
Well, you never know.
Be up on top of the mountain. Great idea, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the old meet and greet. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I haven't had the privilege of being able to do that yet with any of the Rooz guys. But it's interesting though, like, even though we don't see each other, I'll tell you, like, over the years, me personally, I've established some pretty good relationships with people, and I spend more time talking to those people than I do talking to most of my mates I have down here in Melbourne and in the country, because you just don't see them as often. But yeah, definitely talking wise through this forum, it's easy and it's effective.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
totally.
And I know too, like, you know, even for us blokes, even at the age that we're at, we've got Pesky in there as well. Hopefully you're still on, mate, but and I say this because I know you're not alone with it, but, you know, mental health for men, one of the most important things that we need to understand and recognise is that guys basically struggle, you know, to talk, to put their hand up, to say something, you know, to reach out, whatever it might be, and we just seem to absorb things, we hold it in, and, you know, I know I've had quite a few conversations with Pesky, and I've also unloaded on Pesky as well, and there's guys out there that, you know, think that everything's cool and whatever, but, you know, at the end of the day, what I find is that the RaceOnOz League is a little bit like a bit of a man shed, or men's shed, however you pronounce it, where you get the opportunity to have a bit of a chat and unload some information and have a laugh is another thing as well. So, but for the guys out there that are watching, the guys that watch it a little bit later on, you know, I'm a massive advocate for men. And, you know, if anyone needs to have a chat, you know, reach out to the Rooz admins, reach out to a mate that you might have in the community. You know, we're here to help, we're here to chat. I think it's super important. So, yeah, glad that you guys are on tonight watching. It helps us, it helps you guys, and we're just a beautiful community that we can do shit together. So, thank you.
Yep, here, totally agree. And welcome, Luke's joined in to the chat as well, so welcome, Luke.
Hey Luke, how are you, buddy? Hey Luke, is that HSV's brother? If Luke can clarify on the stream. See what he comes back with, but they run a fire, mate. 4.5 seconds in front.
Doing it easily, isn't he? You know, the closest gap we've currently got here in the race is actually Scotty with Simon, and so sort of keeping a bit of an eye on this one at the minute. Yep, whether Scotty can close that in, he's you know, he's up a little bit this lap. I think what I noticed in the part of the lap that I was just watching, that there seems to be, you know, certain sectors, whether it's Scotty or the car, where there's definite advantages. He'll close in, and then there's sectors where Simon will pull out again.
Okay, yep. Yeah, I was just watching Scotty's car as he come through Lacombes there, 789, going over the ripple strips, and the Ferrari. I was looking at the shockers and the dampeners, like they're just sucking up the ripple strips, so that's a positive. And as we know, Scotty's on a hand controller, so he doesn't have the privilege of being able to get some of the force back through, so he does a ripping effort to be competitive that he is.
Oh, absolutely.
On the controller. So you're in the Ferrari next week, mate, for the Tier 1 race?
As are you. We both changed
yes.
both changed ships, so we'll go around for round 2. I proposed to put in a little more practice than I did for round 1. Was doing too many other things behind the scenes here to have enough track time for round 1. So, but that's fairly settled now, and we're all moving forward. So, looking forward to it. And look, I have an affinity, not just with this track, but I don't know why, but the larger, faster, more open circuits seem to suit me. Like this one, like Silverstone, Suzuka. So no, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same. And like you said, mate, I'm in the Ferrari as well. I've stepped away from the Bentley, and I nearly found myself going back to it before round 1, and I'm glad that I stuck to the guns and went with the Ferrari. It's a hard car to tune if you've never really driven it before, which I haven't. One of the things that boasted me was the amount of clicks you could do up and down with the anti-roll bar. Like, what the hell?
It's immense, isn't it?
45 or 48 clicks, for a front anti-roll bar adjustment. Like, what the hell? How do you do that?
Here we go. Scotty's right behind. Is he going to? Hopefully, he's just going to, hold his head. Still 42 minutes of a race to go. This is where you've got to make a decision as a driver too, to quite possibly change your strategy. If you feel you're faster than the guy in front, but not quite fast enough to physically make a move, then maybe it's time to go in for a pit stop and look for an undercut.
Well, that's something to think about, mate, because when we started this race, what was the temperature? 31 degrees on track?
Correct.
We're currently at 34 now. Remember, they started at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes.
There's every chance that this could go up to 36 degrees. So, do you go pull the pin too early? I mean, some of these guys might have their eye temperatures set down low in the event that they're preparing for a hotter track, sort of, 1/3 of the way through up to halfway. It's probably where we've seen some of these guys with a little bit of oversteer or understeer. So there's a little bit to play here, and this is what I love about setting up the servo. Oh, actually, I didn't set up the servo. It's the gremlins in the back that set up the servo. But the multiplier versus the track time in the morning. It's a hot day, and it's interesting to see what the hell is going to happen.
Absolutely.
If it gets up to 36 degrees, we could be in a bit of strife for some of these guys.
See, for me as a driver, I'd probably be looking to, have my pressures, once they first come up to operating temps, probably to be at around about the 27.4, 27.5, probably 27.5s early on, and then let them rise. And then obviously, hopefully, you'll get to that stable point within the race that then, if it starts to go over, it's meeting your pit stop window that you're looking for.
Yep. Yeah, Scotty Pye's right on the back of Simon at the moment, so he's just dropping it down the inside. He's having a think. He's making Simon think about his corner entry into turn 10. Going into turn 11. Still in there.
We've got to watch out for a little bit of aero wash. Possibly.
Yep. one of the scariest things I've ever experienced, I reckon, coming down Conrod Straight behind Ty Morgo when he passed me. Thought I'll just duck in behind him and get a bit of a tow, and as soon as I did that, it launched me into the fence.
Yep.
No control whatsoever, so that was a learning curve. And it's a good battle with these guys. It's nice and clean.
Absolutely. 20 minutes of the race done and run.
And what it does too, K-Man, is that these two guys battling like this, we've basically got Shamrock and Stozza in the background there working. Shamrock was 3.5 seconds behind Scotty Pye at the start of this lap, and because these guys are battling on track now, it's going to bring these other two guys back into the mix.
Absolutely. And unfortunately also what happens is then their gap grows to, you know, third place. Christoph, who's in front of Simon currently as well when they're battling like they are.
Yep. And I think Simon's actually coming up on a Team Little Bear.
Yep.
Yep. So Team Little Bear's in a position where he's going to get blue flagged. He's potentially got 3 corners where he gets blue flags and he needs to concede that position to the guys that are battling behind him, which is really important. And from what I saw from round 1, there was some, and I'll say this now, to massive shout out to White Shadow. We saw that at Zandvoort in round 1. He showed 100% a great example of what, you know, blue flags, how they get treated, what you're supposed to do, and hats off to him for doing that, because you know, he copped a fair bit of damage. He went into the pits, duck it out. He's in there for a long time. He came back out on track, and he had some blue flags, but at the end of the day, he still had a race, and he gathered some points for his team, which is really important. And if you look at SAR now, 1 point behind CDA, it's easy for people to, you know, go back to the pits and quit. But he didn't do that. He capitalised on the points. Yeah. So
Scotty's got to run. Is he going to? He's holding on the inside.
He is.
And he's got him. Well done. Well done by both of them. Well done by both drivers.
100%. Yeah.
It's just, you know, lap after lap, biding your time until the time is right.
You got to let the race come to you. Just sit back and watch the driver in front, look at his strengths, look at his weaknesses, stick your nose in there and see what happens. It's just a race cap at this stage, 2k man, so Rain of Fire. He's 6.5 seconds pretty much in front of Sparky God. And then from Sparky God we've got Chris. He's 4.7 seconds behind as Chris actually comes into the pit. So this is the first of the front runners coming into the pit. So this is potentially looking at a little bit of an undercut here, trying to gain some time. And then you've got Scotty Pye. He's also in the pits.
Dived into the pits. Yeah, absolutely.
He has.
Interesting.
So Simon's continued on. Shamrock's continued on. Zozza's continued on. So yeah, there you go. It started. Track temperature of 34. Let me just jump on board with Rain of Fire. I'm just going to check something. Yeah, so race time we've got 11:32 a.m. So this race should take us to about 12:30, 1 o'clock, I think. So from a 10 o'clock start. We'll put it into the middle of the day, which will probably be the hottest part of the day as well too, I reckon, K-Man. So, curious to see how tyre wear is. If I was out the front right now, if I was in the shoes of Rain of Fire, I'd probably be chancing it and just keep going as long as I possibly can. Whatever fuel you've got set, and then, you know, go out with a new set of boots on, you know, with 25 minutes to go, say for instance. Then do the last 25 minutes and get the race win. I'd have to, if Burradog allows it, I might have to reach out to him and try and get his race set up, because he's pretty damn quick out there today.
Yes, absolutely. Well, again, this group of three look to be starting to group up as well. So
They are. Yep.
old Shamrock, he just, you know, old stalwart, he'll just go round and round and round, hopefully, and just keep it on the black stuff, and where it ends, it ends.
Yeah, well, he's one of the guys that loves his racing too, so it's,
Absolutely.
It's awesome that he does that. But Audis just put a message up there too about men's mental health is very important. Got one of his work colleagues lives in Hunter Valley and has opened his land and house to anyone who needs a break from life. And that just speaks volumes for itself. I'll tell you, Bounty, mate, that just gives me makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up when I hear that stuff. And, you know, sometimes what it takes is for guys to have been through it themselves to fully understand what it means to exactly what your work colleague's done. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll give you a quick stat too, K-Man.
Yep.
And not to hash on too much about mental health and that, but I'm a mental health first aid person for my work, and when I was doing that course, the lady said to us, she goes, "Oh, so what's the age group that you would think that suicide in men happens most frequent?" The majority of the group picked, you know, sort of late teens, early 20s. Because that's just what the feel is, and that's the stories that you hear. But the actual stats is that suicide in men happens between the ages of 45 and 52, and from 73 onwards.
Wow.
So it's it's pretty scary. That's the age group that I'm in, which is I'm 50. So
yeah, I'm 58. So totally
shocked
agree.
me a bit. Yep.
Totally agree.
So yeah.
Oh, Shamrock, sorry mate, not to cut you off there, because mental health is super important, but Shamrock just had a huge moment, and I don't know how he saved it.
Yeah, I was on board with that too.
Yeah, up the top of Lacombe's, and just sideways one way, sideways another way. It might have been a little bit to Bounty's school of drifting.
Well, Stozzle's all over him like a second skin.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, sorry, just getting back to that mental health too, I think what we don't realise and what is starting to happen is it is being spoken about more and more and more, that you don't realise that there can be quite a number of people around you that struggle with varying levels of mental health. You know, and as you've mentioned, this platform for people to be able to reach out, talk to a teammate, talk to a captain, talk to an admin, you know, we are always there.
Yeah. Yep. Sure, mate, and I would nearly put $100 on that this league saved a couple of lives without a doubt.
Totally agree.
Especially with all the COVID and all that sort of bullshit. But anyway.
Yep.
Let's get back to the racing. We've got a really big battle here between Spozza and Shamrock, both Bentley on Bentley. Just see if Spozza can pull any time back on Shamrock. Oh, I'll tell you, 2K man, if I was in Shamrock's shoes right now, this is the worst position to be in. Simon's gone into the pits as well, but I hate it when someone's right up my clacker. I get nervous. I watch the bloody mirror more than I watch outside the windscreen.
Yeah, you've got to be able to... Oh, there you go. He's had that same issue again in the same corner. So maybe Shamrock's struggling with tyres here.
Yeah, track temperature's up to 35.
There you go.
So we did call it.
Yep. Well, and Stozza with a bit of understeer again.
He'll be having a ripping time. He'll be loving this.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I know he's pretty competitive through the Project Cars 2 stuff, so... he's gotten a little bit taily there, coming... Must have been practising with Cam Waters on the Speedway track, I reckon. Was very well held. That was purely him getting up the curb then and just unbalancing the car.
Yeah, and that's what I'm sort of saying too. For some reason, the Bentley is known for being good on curves, but this track, seems to, you know, really sort out all the cars.
Well, the curbs aren't tiny, that's the thing.
No.
We got Simon's come out. Yep.
Well, Simon's
completed his pit stop. We got Rain of Fire in the pits. Barky God's in the pits.
just interesting because Christoph was sitting in. Oh no, it sorted itself out again now. I was getting a little confused there. Then it had to sort itself out because it was showing Christoph, you know, behind Simon. And I thought, what was going on here? So.
Well, Scotty Pye has fallen in behind Simon, so Simon's pipped him on the
pit stop.
Pit stop, yeah, that's good effort. Jump on board with him. See how Scotty Pye's 2.6 seconds behind. Oh no, close it in now. Yeah, interesting. Up to 36 degrees came in. See,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a massive difference. That's a really good intel for next week's race.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Bounty. I reckon their tyres are getting too hot, mate. So yeah, take that on board for next week.
No, not Bounty. Don't you worry about the tyre track temp, Bounty. You just throw some silly numbers at it.
Hey, while we're talking about Bounty too, where you at? Who you on? There, K-Man.
Yeah, mate.
Stoz has gotten. He's still
sideways.
He doesn't want to keep doing that.
They have got to be burning up those tyres, surely.
They have to be. If that was me right now, I'd be adjusting my brake bias to more to the front.
Yep.
Shamrock could be sitting there getting the full view. He's like front seat row of watching Stozza getting sideways. He's doing like a Van Gisbergen when he wins a race and doing drift work around the track. So a fair bit of wheel work going on there by Stozza. So good effort holding it. Looks like Shamrock's got a bit of a run on him as they come up through turn 18. These guys, I tell you, someone's going to have to concede here, I reckon. Someone will pull into the pits. Stozza's gone deep.
And Shamrock's in.
Yep,
Shamrock's into the pits.
So he's put that much pressure on Stoz.
Yep.
Made him go deep, made a mistake, he's gone into the pits. Oswald was waiting for him at the end there to come through, which he hasn't. So he will lose that bit of time.
Yeah, someone we haven't spent a bit of time with is familiar.
Yeah, he just cycles around.
Yep. Keeping out of trouble, doing what he needs to do.
Colours. The closest battle I've got on track at the moment is Scotty Pye on Simon again. So Simon knows where he got him last time, so hopefully he's learnt from that. They come around through 13, 14 on the approach to 15. Not really going defensive. Certainly using all of the track. Scotty's gone up and inside the curb there as well. Just needs to be careful of that. And as you said before, mate, a little bit of aero wash going up through Archimont into turn 18. You've got to be very careful too that you don't miss the apex. He's gone pretty wide there. That's where you break track limits. That's what you've got to be super careful of.
Absolutely.
We've got 25 minutes to go. Just need to make sure that anyone that's on track right now, I'm sure that they've got some track warnings, but surprised I haven't seen a drive-through yet. So great effort so far by those guys. But, yeah, I was just going to say with Bounty, so guys, if you haven't jumped on to Bounty's internet or his website there, the podium, definitely do so. It's, Leto does all the work for all the leagues across the Rooz. for PC and a console. Shamrock's coming out of the pits there, but he does a brilliant job, and as well as being the captain of Coach Dave Academy, it's had some really good input with some of the team meetings that we've had, so I really appreciate that as well. And I mean, I reckon that we've got a pretty good thing going at the moment with the way that it's all set up.
I would totally agree. You know, we've got a great bunch of guys that are, you know, those that are behind the scenes, the captains, the admins, and then to the guys that are racing. You know, it's testament to sort of where we're at. You know, you look at this race; it's been clean and fast, and you know, and I'm sure it doesn't matter where you're running, you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, probably too much.
Yes.
Speaking of enjoyment, can I just say that with the closure of the Project Cars 2 League, as I said, was run by Stu and done a bloody great job at it, has transitioned over to Assetto Corsa Competizione with the GT4 one make car series for the Sunday night. Starting this Sunday, they're driving the Chevy Camaro round 1 at Hungaroring. I think Scotty Pye will probably correct me for my pronunciation later on, but I jumped on last night for a couple of laps with the guys, and man, what fun. Like, seriously, you hardly need a tune for that car. It's literally get in and arrive and drive, and felt a little bit like Cole Trickle turning up at the Daytona track there, mate, on his first drive, and doing some laps and just putting down some good times, and I felt so good. But when I did the race, I wasn't doing so well. But anyway, who cares? But there's a massive amount of numbers of people that have come across. Super stoked that a lot of the guys have come across, so I'm really enthusiastic about that. JJ and Stu organising the GT4 series. But I think it's about 5 or 6 rounds. Definitely we'll be looking at having that streamed and commentated as well, which will be a good thing.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, I'm excited because it's another level of console that we bring. 1 for the guys that are racing, and 2 for the viewers outside of PC. And yeah, we've got a fair bit of the real estate with that stuff, and do a pretty bloody good job at it too. So well done to all the guys in the background. And well done to JJ and well done to Stu for kicking that off, but looking forward to being part of that as well.
Yeah, it's great to see, isn't it?
It is, mate. It needs to happen. Like, seriously, we've got such a good platform, probably the biggest in Australia in terms of what we bring as an overall package. You know, I haven't seen this anywhere else, to be quite honest. I've had a little bit of the look at some of the stuff that happens overseas, but I reckon that we're not that far behind the standard of what they're putting down. So we just need to get more guys on track. That's all we need, to create some more opportunity for us to look at some more battles that are happening.
Very true, very true. You know, look, we've seen when we've, you know, RaceOnOz has taken on other leagues, and you know, where we're able to finish and be successful against some of the other leagues out there. Yeah, it just goes to show that you know, the class of drivers here is very, very strong, very strong.
Oh, mate, we've got a high class of drivers. There's no doubt about that. You know, we've got some old boys in there too, and I noticed that Colin 50, who has been with Project Cars for a long time as well, was in the PC2, yeah, coming across. So I'm glad he is. I don't know if he's going to watch his stream or not, but I owe him too, because he was the one that actually got me involved with the RaceOnOz League racing. So, you know, massive shout out to him for that. But you know, a few years ago, I wasn't even thinking about this stuff, and then he spoke to me about it, and bang, here I am, and here we are, and here me and you are, mate. We're commentating the stuff.
It's crazy, isn't it? I think I've probably been sim racing for, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, 7, 8 years, 9 years. I'm not too sure anymore.
Yep.
You know, but anyway, back to the race, because Scotty has closed right back in on Simon again. And something else worth mentioning is Shamrock came out, you know, a few seconds ahead of Stozza.
Yeah, I can see the gap there.
Yep.
Yep.
But
right, so
this is the battle pack.
19 minutes. Back temperature, 37 degrees.
Cool.
Woo. There you go. Let me just check the time.
It's 12:23 p.m.
There you go. Yep. Good intel. Very good intel. Practicing with the Ferrari a little bit there. It's when it got a bit hotter, it got a bit floaty in the rear end, so I wasn't used to that. I'm not sure what the go is there, but probably need to go down about 30 clicks on the rear anti-roll bar, I reckon.
Well, you've got plenty to play with.
Sure do, and with the anti-roll bar too.
Yeah, well, righto. Well, this is the race at the minute, you know, between Simon and Scotty. Not to take away from, you know, Rain of Fire and Sparky that are up front, and Christoph, but this is where the battle is. For,
it is, mate.
You know, let's call it the minor placings, because it's, you know, just off the podium, and unless there's, you know, something dramatic happens up front, I really don't see too much changing for the first, you know, 3 positions, of course.
No, not unless someone makes a mistake, but might be for minor placings, but for T points, it's critical.
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm on with Scotty, and I tell you, going up through a Rooz there, the fact that he's on a control and he just is nailing it every single time is testament to his ability to be able to drive one of these things. He's just sticking to Simon like a shit to a shovel right at this particular moment. He's filling Simon's mirror up with a blue Ferrari. It's just, his lines are unreal. Like, I can't believe. Okay, man, I'm super excited for next week. I'm genuinely excited to be driving the Ferrari now after what I've just watching.
It's going to be a cracking event. But we're no different to anybody else, mate. We've all got to get through lap 1, then settle in and enjoy the race.
What's that saying from Top Gun? Take me to bed, lose me forever.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now. Oh, this is crazy by these guys. Apologies to anyone else that's racing out there tonight. These guys on track right now is the battle pack, and this is what's happening. I'm glad that it's in pack, because this is the guys that need to get some of the recognition for the hard work that goes on.
You can see that steering wheel. The steering wheel inputs that Scotty is having to put in on controller is just incredible.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right.
I couldn't do 3 corners, let alone an entire race on controller.
Definitely not. Well, you know what the thing is, when you're in a wheelchair,
yep,
and you've got to use other bits and parts of your body, then those parts become super, like, sensitive, and you know, they become your eyes and ears and arms and whatever.
Yep, true.
And he does that very well. So, you know, he's certainly, he loves his stuff. Like, he loves it so much.
With a passion.
He's just a champion of this stuff.
Wears his heart on his sleeve.
Oh, he wears everything on his sleeve.
Yeah. Can I also say, it is worth mentioning, with 15 minutes to go, and geez, I don't want this to be the commentator's curse, but we haven't seen a drive-through.
There we have it. And Scotty's like literally like got a cigarette paper between him and Simon.
There is
Simon's
nothing.
dropped it in there. He's not shy. He's listening to his race engineer, which is really good. This is when the track limits get exceeded because they're, you know, I don't know about you, mate, but it's hard to spot your turning points and your braking markers when you're literally, you know, you can touch the rear spoiler of the car in front of you.
Oh, you're going in blind. That's where you're relying on muscle memory.
Yep.
To get you, you know, onto your braking marker where you need to, and
yep.
you know, not, you know, driving and ending up in the boot in the car in front of you.
Now, let's just wait for the timing table to Jamrock 4.9 seconds. Stoss is 1 second behind, so he's made up heaps of time on Shamrock. So this is.
There's going to be two battles going on shortly.
Like I said, guys, grab the popcorn, grab your nana, get her on the couch, sit down. We've got some hot action coming towards the last 13 minutes of this race. If it's not your nana, then grab whoever the hell was next to you and put them on the couch, because this is turning out to be an absolute amazing race. Stoss is right up the back of Jamrock right now. I can't believe how much he's closed in so quickly. Oh, this is cool. So these guys need to work together to be able to bring themselves up to the back of Scotty Pye. If they battle on track, what's going to happen is they're just going to separate. So they'll lose out on that opportunity to be able to capitalise and close in. Track temperature 37 seems to be working right now.
Wow.
I think someone said it in the chat before, but the Bounty tyres are hot. So got JJ in the chat as well. So thank you, Adman. Looking forward to that series. Absolutely, mate. Can't wait. And it will be an absolute cracker. We've got some solid numbers in there, so it will be interesting to see how that all plays out. But yeah, okay, man. I just watched the YouTube stream back, so I'm on board with Stozza going up through a Rooz there.
That's where we're on, mate. We're all over it here at the minute. He is just all over the back of Shamrock.
Yeah, he's trying to force Shamrock into a mistake. God, that was close. Well done. Just looking back at the YouTube stream there when they'll go through the first chicane. So, what's the gap now? Shamrock 4.2 seconds to Scotty Pye. Scotty Pye's dropped off with Simon a little bit.
Yep.
So the battle on track now is between Shamrock and Stoss. I don't want to take anything away from the fact that Rain of Fire, Sparky and Christoph have done a brilliant job up in the top podium positions there. But I would not want to feel this pressure. This is more pressure than I felt at a blue light disco when I was 15, mate, wearing parachute tracksuit pants, I tell ya. I didn't have that much to choose from, to be quite honest, but I sort of took what I could get. Coming through the last boss stop there, under the finish straight. You just got to feel for these guys. When you're Bentley on Bentley, you really relying on the fact that someone's going to make a mistake, because at the end of the day, you're not going to really gain that much, are you?
Well, you're not. You know, look, again, it does come down to, you know, driver ability, of course, and car setup. But, you know, all in all, if there's, you know, we're talking tenths of a second difference, and, you know, trying to pass somebody is not easy.
It's not. Watching those guys through a Rooz, they're basically nose to tail all the way through, and he's looking for a toe, but he'll get to the end of the straight here, the Camel Straight, and he's pulled out of the stream. He's literally gained nothing. Right now, if I was in Stoss's shoes, I would probably, if my tyre pressures were right, I'd probably put the brake bias back down to probably about 56 in the Bentley, I reckon. try and get a little bit more even distribution of brake pressure through the front and the rear. I'd be looking at going into the corners late, the braking, to try and really not dive bomb, but just really fill his mirror full of Bentley and get him thinking about, you know, what he's doing on track. Because then what that will do is potentially put Shamrock as thinking in his head, oh, I've got to brake later as well. But if you set your car up right with the brake bias, you can, and you're braking in a straight line, you can do that. You definitely don't want to brake and trail brake and then you know, come into a corner braking, because you will lose the rear end.
Yeah, very true. And you know, the smaller Stoz has run wide there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, which has now given Shamrock a bit more breathing space. But what I was saying is, you know, people don't realise that some of these minute adjustments with your brake bias, you know, on worn tyres, on heavy or light fuel loads, can make a big difference into the car's handling.
Yeah.
It's not set and forget stuff.
That's not, mate. Track temperature 38, so as Benny pointed out before, with some tyres hurting right now, I reckon, with 8 minutes and 33 seconds to go. But Benny's still got an old pair of parachute tracky pants still in his closet too, mate. So not sure what he'll be keeping them for, to be quite honest.
Jeez,
He's got an old pair, but
old parachute pants. Now you're talking.
I've got an old pair that was used for a costume, but I certainly haven't kept them for nostalgic reasons, that's for sure.
It's, well, here comes another battle for the teammates.
Yep.
Okay. So
Sparky
and Christopher again. Bounty, is there team orders?
Hey, we've asked him that question and he reckons there's not. I reckon this will come down to tyres, tyre temperature. 38 degrees, that's a big difference between where the race started. If you've set yourself up in the pit stop, the tyres to come in at the right time. I mean, we've got 7 minutes, you've got 2 minutes and 20 minutes, say, for instance, for a lap, 2 minutes and 21. So we've got a couple of laps up our sleeve still. There's every opportunity that tyres have come in at the right time. Look at Rain of Fire, 22 seconds in front, 23 seconds nearly.
He is just
nuts.
Yeah.
And what an effort. That is an amazing effort by Rain of Fire to do that.
Absolutely. Let's just jump on board. And we haven't spent much time with him. He's obviously just been out front doing his thing, which has been super consistent.
They threw a Rooz. Nice and smooth. Turns it in. Oh, easy. Can't see the speed that he's doing, but just like Sunday drive. No pressure. Got nice turn in. It's going on, just clipping the curb again. Yep. Just missed the apex slightly there, but who cares when you're that far in front? Been nice and tight going through there at 10 and 10, one of the most difficult corners on the track. A little bit of curb there, straight line it out. Third gear, fourth gear, should drop it up in a fifth. Yep, back down a third. Sitting in nice and close. That's good lines for this far into the race. On the brakes, down a second. Hardly any steering input, any steering adjustments, just slight. Head on the curbing there, back down a second. Staying off the curbs, using all the run out there on the left. Turning in nice and early, just missed the apex slightly, but that's okay. As he makes his way up, we blanch him on. Means turn 18. It's Let's have a look. Drops it into 6th gear up here, I reckon. Yep. Nice and early. Oh, hardly even touching the steering wheel. Probably drinking a coffee at the same time. On the brakes, nice and deep.
It appears that way.
A little bit of throttle. Nice exit. That was his quickest lap, was it? No,
20.9.
Yep.
He's 1 second off his fastest lap of the race. But that's to be expected at this, well, this time of the race. And sorry?
Oh, he's taking him out! Chris is taking, Sparky got out. Last chicane, that bus stop there on the start-finish line.
Oh no.
She's now brought Familiar into it. Familiar's gone past Chris. And in too deep. No, he's lost it. Why is Familiar holding back? Oh, because he's laps. Getting a bit excited there. Sorry, K-Man.
No.
So Chris has gone in deep there. He's taken Sparky out. Lucky for those guys that that's all it is. Doesn't appear to have caused any bit of damage to both those guys as they go through a Rooz. Looks like Chris has got another run on Sparky as well.
There we go. Battle pack again.
If he wants to make the move on him, he's going to have to do it
got
clean.
him. Stozzer's got around the outside of Shamrock. No, Shamrock's back up the inside again. Oh. Oh.
Oh, these guys, there's battles everywhere. Stozzer's got a fair bit of damage.
This is some great racing, and while this is happening, they're closing in on Scotty. Scotty's coming back to them.
So Sparky has still maintained position in front of Chris. Chris must have had second position there momentarily. The timing screen reflects that. Stozza, yeah, he's dropped off a little bit from Shamrock. Be eager beaver to. What was that? Oh, Team Little Bear.
That's Team Little Bear.
Team Little
Yep.
Bear. Oh, where's this 60 minutes gone? Came in, I'll tell you.
It's just flown by. There's been action aplenty all over the place. I
know.
It's been brilliant. Again, just like round one. You know, there may not be the quantity of drivers, you know, in this server, but there sure is the quality.
Absolutely. This will be the last lap, so Rain of Fire coming up through a Rooz now. We've got a minute and 50 seconds to go. Got Sparky in front of Chris. Simon in P4, so solid effort again, as I called at the start of the race. His car's clean, it doesn't even have a dent on it or a scratch, so well done to him. Scotty Pye, 3.5 seconds off Simon. You got Shamrock and Stozza. This is the last opportunity for these guys. I'll stick on with Stoz. Last opportunity to make any sort of a pass, and it will be through a Rooz coming up into the Cane. Try and get a run on him here, coming up through Kemmel Straight.
Goodness me.
It's close.
He's
this
got
is
a
where
run.
these guys have been tussling. I would not want to be in Shamrock's shoes. Going on the inside. Here we go. Has he got the pass it? Side by side. Oh, nice and close. Shamrock's still in there.
Oh!
They're both side by side.
And they're still going. Look at these two. This is brilliant racing.
Jesus Christ.
Incredible racing.
Oh, no
Incredible racing.
Oh, Stozza's got a little bit loose coming out there. It's the last opportunity. And that's close. So we've got Rain of Fire who's about to come across the start-finish line. So Well done to him. Well done to Team GRT and Burradog, captain of GRT, and Andrelli is the vice captain. Awesome effort, mate. Sorry we haven't been on you much tonight, but
well done.
unfortunately you've been too far out in front. Chris has gotten in front of Sparky. Is he? Where is Sparky?
Yeah, because Sparky's... Oh.
Sparky must have had an incident. He's been overtaken by Simon. Oh, there you go. Right to the last corner for these guys. So Simon into the bus stop. So Sparky's just held on to P3. Simon at P4, Team BHR. Scotty Pye goes over the finish line. Well done, Scotty. Jamrock. Guys are right in behind him.
Some great racing.
Great racing. Team Little Bear and Azura in the BMW M6. Still see he's got a bonnet hitch at the front that's unlocked and still cycling around. So well done to Azura. Sorry, mate, we didn't put you on there much as well. Sparky, technical issue, Cat. How is Sparky typing and driving at the same time? Got me buggered.
Man of many talents, obviously.
Yeah, so technical issue, the cat sat on the TV remote. Well, then, you know what they say about pusses, get rid of the bloody things.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that if I can say, was a cracking race. As I said a moment ago, you know, not a massive quantity, but a hell of a lot of quality. So well done to all of them.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, Bounty, too, for the feedback. Hopefully it came through. I won't tell you that I've nearly drunk a whole bottle of red wine, but I don't know how the hell that's happened. I've actually got the camera on with K-Man through Discord, so he's keeping a good eye on me. So if I've snuck it in, then I've done it unknowingly. But brilliant race tonight. I tell you, seriously, with the amount of races, to have that much action is nuts. Guys, if we can fill the server, if any of the guys from Project Cast 2 are watching this, or they do watch it, by all means, like, put your hand up if you want to be part of it, want to be part of the stream, you know, family wants to watch you on track. This is your opportunity. Get in there and have a go. It doesn't matter if you're back a field, as long as you're having fun. So that's what it's all about. But yeah, awesome racing by those guys tonight. I'm just so rapt for them. It certainly makes our job easier, that's for sure, mate.
Oh, it does. It makes it enjoyable. It's a great promotion for the league. You know, the way these guys presented themselves tonight was just, you know, stellar. Absolutely stellar. Yep. And we look forward to, you know, the next round in a fortnight's time, where it may be a tad damp at Suzuka.
Go.
So forgot about that.
Let's wait and see. But I'm not sure whether I'm suffering with a few technical issues here, but we'll have a bit of a look and see whether we can bring it up. But that is our podium, everybody. Rain of Fire, P1. No, it's not, because it swapped around right there at the end. You have caught me out. That's what happens when you do this stuff on the fly. But it's actually Christoph in P2 and Sparky God in P3. Sorry, guys. I don't get a lot of time to do this, and I don't type real fast, so I thought I got a little ahead of myself. But well done to the podium, and well done to everybody.
So we just need Rain of Fire to do a shoey right now and just send it through as a video so that we can have a look.
Yep.
We'll add that to the promo video through Andrelli, but it might just be, if you're at home, and it might be in your slipper. That's okay. It doesn't matter. But yeah, well done tonight. It was a ripping race. Like I said before, well done to Team GRT for picking up Rain of Fire. Looks like he's a quality driver. He's done extremely well tonight. And good battle between Chris and Sparky. I'm sure you guys will share some words after the race and talk about you know, what if and what, when and how and blah, 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 but how will that look? But yeah, brilliant by the guys tonight. Thank you, K-Man, for having me on tonight. I've really enjoyed it. It's round 2. Got 3 more rounds to go. We've got our own race next week. So, guys, we've got AJ and Jamie who will be commentating and streaming the race. The Tier 1 guys, which K-Man and myself would both be part of. I'm super pumped about that. We're both in brand new cars that we haven't, not that familiar with. And yeah, jump on board, chuck some comments in, hit the like button, do whatever, but be part of it. And yeah, good luck to everyone that's racing next week. Go Rooz.
Absolutely. Thank you, Adman. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to a fortnight, mate, and see you trackside next week. And again, congratulations to all the guys that raced tonight. Brilliant performance. Well done. Catch you all soon.
Thank you. See you later.